We're fucking live! What episode are we on? 9?
I have no idea.
Episode 9, I believe.
Maybe.
Welcome to Guitar Practice, episode 9, possibly... No, it's 9.
Tell us in the comments if we're wrong.
Yeah, we want to start off today by saying, our bad, we didn't put a pod out last week because we had pretty much a meltdown of our whole system, man. We're running with, low budget gear right now, and we will continue to do that until you guys start giving us money.
It's just the beginning, guys.
No, it does take work. It takes work to build gear. It takes time. We have a special guest today. His name is Nate, and he's a bassist. He's been in a couple local bands. He's been in a couple local bands, had a couple projects. Pretty young in the game, but yeah. Nate, introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself.
Good to be here, man. I've been playing bass probably since I was a little kid. I mean, I've always been into stringed instruments. So after a while, I said, "Fuck it." There's enough guitar players. I might as well try bass. And ever since then, it's been a painful but pretty badass journey.
Yeah, you think so?
Met a lot of cool people in this shit. That's the main thing.
Well, you're the best bassist I've ever heard right in front of me.
Hell yeah. I got one crown.
Well, that's a pretty big plus. Genres. Talk about genres. I know these are fucking easy, fucking softball questions, but
Man, I love
what drew you to music in the first place?
Originally, it was just I wanted to be a rapper. Originally, that was my main thing. I remember at one point I was even making beats and shit with just random household stuff, just beating on stuff.
Hell yeah.
But over time, I was like, I don't think I can be a rapper. I mean, for obvious reasons. But
What, you're white?
That's part of it. Little dorky white dude ain't.
I think Eminem kind of took that excuse out of everybody, though.
I just get Eminem, and I realized that as well. So I was like, fuck it. And I got really into Nirvana, and after that, I was like, I think I can do this shit,
So Nirvana was your first, rock relationship, per se?
Yeah, that's what got me into that whole side of music.
What was the first song?
Fuck, dude. Probably Heart-Shaped Box. That's what really was that's one of the first songs I actually tried to learn how to play on guitar and everything.
Really?
And I was just like, you know what? I was like, these dudes aren't fucking Metallica, you know what I mean? They're not insanely talented. They're just really creative, you know what I mean? So that's what took me from one step to another, being like, damn, I can do this. I can learn how to play these instruments. It's not some overly daunting task, you know what I mean?
So is there a specific genre that you prefer to kind of stick within whenever you're just kind of playing around at the house, whatever?
I mostly doom metal shit, Typo Negative, Electric Wizard, kind of early Black Sabbath kind of vibe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, very cool.
I feel that. You ready to play a riff?
Everybody who's on this pod has to play a riff.
You gotta play a riff.
Yeah, bomb or not. And
bomb
keep in
or
mind,
non.
You're the best bassist I've ever heard, ever, in person.
The whole reason that we made this podcast is to sprinkle a little bit of reality on this hobby. The fact of the matter is that it takes years. It takes a lot of time to get mediocre.
Yeah. No,
it takes a lot of time, especially.
You don't have money.
Yeah, especially one.
You ain't got the money. It's gonna be a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, if you don't have money, it's gonna be a problem. If you don't have someone helping you, it's even worse. So, I mean, like I said, everybody that has to come on this podcast has to bomb a riff. We've bombed plenty of times. We pretty much bomb all the time. Play us a riff.
All right, I got you. That time I did it.
Are you ready?
All right.
All right, go ahead.
Hell yeah.
It sounded like bass music to me.
That sounded exactly like a bass.
No, I'll tell you right now, unless you're unless you play for the Red Hot Chili Peppers or maybe Tool, it's got some
Maybe
really
Tool,
memorable
yeah.
fucking bass lines. It's gonna be really hard to determine what song that was.
Bass is bass. It's the base of music. Like,
Yeah, it really is
Yeah.
one. It's the foundation.
Yeah.
You know.
It's in the name.
Yeah, obviously. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of the bass.
It sounds really good.
What was that song? Tell us.
Man, okay, first of all, you can practice the song for fucking 2 days straight hardcore and then forget it on the spot. So if anybody else who does that going forward, don't feel bad, because I just shit the bed on OMERTA. But,
No, that's fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, I just was like, fuck it, I'll do some mayhem type shit, because that's
like
most
it.
of what I know, yeah.
Yeah.
It sounded good. It sounded like bass. Like I said, you're the best bass player I've ever seen in
I
person.
love the title, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna frame that shit, dude.
I've never seen another bass player, by the way.
You know who has
We're
a
a
good
little
bass
rare.
player is Pantera, dude. You can't forget Rex.
Rex,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Rex is the shit, dude.
I love it when, you know, before like the real breakdown, Rex keeps playing through it,
Yeah.
but when all the guitars are quiet and Phil's not yelling or anything, and you just hear that fucking weapon, you know, that da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. You know the tide is about to break upon the shore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, anybody getting into this shit, like especially on bass, find a bass player that you really like and try to imitate them a little bit, because it's not. Guitar is so oversaturated, and there's so many bands where the guitar is screaming loud, the drums are screaming loud, and you can't even hear the bass. So go out of your way to find a bass player you really love, and then kind of figure out what they're doing that makes them more unique. You know what I mean? Stuff
Yeah,
like that.
for
Like
sure.
that helped me the most.
You
because-
said something about typo negative. Just from my interactions with you, it seems like you know a lot of history about metal. A lot of people know about typo negative, but a lot of people don't know about the band he was in before, which is one of my favorite bands, Carnival.
Oh yeah.
Love the Retaliation album, and just love that guy in general. Rest in peace. But
Yeah, bro.
how did you go from Nirvana to being interested in typo negative?
I just, over time, because at first I got into Nirvana and I tried to check out bands within that scene, and I realized that a lot of it was just fluff. Like, you get into, like, you get the grunge era, which is, like, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then you get the generation after that, which, because, all the original dudes fucking died, like Lane Staley and shit like that.
Yeah, well, heroin.
Yeah, you get to the after
Does it
phase
to
of
you.
that.
Yeah, if fentanyl was around, there would be no Alice in Chains because we would have already been dead.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Would've
Dude,
been one demo.
2024 is suppressing musicians just with the invention of fentanyl.
Just with fentanyl.
Yeah. But I just found a lot of I just kind of developed like a small disdain for mainstream music. Like outside of mostly the 90s, there aren't a lot of bands that were able to reach a lot of mainstream success that, in my opinion, weren't kind of plants or kind of shilly, you know what I mean, in that kind of way. And
Because you're too cool for that?
yeah, a little bit.
That's what it sounds like, honestly.
I'm definitely too cool for that.
No, I understand it though. Especially if you're like a really like art-oriented person.
Yeah.
You know, because you can listen to, some of the mainstream guys are just ripping, like point blank period. But even Pantera back in the day wasn't mainstream. They weren't playing them on the radio. They were like, these guys are fucking crazy fucks. Get them away from us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I understand that motivation. But if you could kind of paraphrase, when you listen to a piece of music, when you listen to a piece of metal, piece of rock, whatever you want to call it, doom metal, what sticks out? Like, what makes you say, I like this more than this?
It's like, it's just it's less conventional stuff. I mean, it's just shit that I'd look at and I'd be like, wow, if you by doing that, you're never gonna get radio play by like having these like really long songs that just have like these insane solos of some dude like going, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
for like
that is true.
For like 10 minutes, that's never gonna happen. But the fact that dudes are willing to be like, fuck it, I don't care if I get the label deal, I don't care if this happens, I'm gonna make exactly what I want to
So
make.
would you label yourself as almost a purist?
I mean, a purist is difficult because I mean I do like, you know, like other shit. I'm not saying like, you know, I like rock.
I was like cultist. I said purist.
I like Rockstar by
Wait a second.
Nickelback as much as anybody
If
else.
anybody
you know what
says
I mean,
they
dude?
don't like that song, you're a fucking liar. Dude.
Honestly.
I mean, dude, and I mean like, you know, shit
'Cause
like
I'm
that.
so tired of
But-
standing in lines to clubs that I'll never get in.
Amen, brother. Amen,
And
brother.
we all feel it. We all
Yeah,
feel
dude.
it. Every time that song hits the fucking radio, everybody turns it up.
Every single
Yeah.
person that tunes into
Yeah,
a
yeah.
podcast named Guitar Practice, they all just want to be big rock stars.
Yes, yeah.
Live on hilltop houses driving 15 cars. And that could be you if you practice more, but you have a job and a wife and children that are crying all the time.
All the time.
And that's just life, dude.
It'll never happen. You'll never be a big rock star.
ZZ Top will never be in your music video.
Never.
Let me make
It's
that
not gonna
clear.
happen, dude. Hell, you know he's doing something with Morgan Wallen?
Get out.
Who, bro?
Fucking Nickelback, dude.
Oh,
Get
my
out.
God.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be pretty sick.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
I think it's gonna be cool. I love that song, Jack.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
do that shit.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, they got a little friend circle there.
That's Hardy,
Morgan
but-
Wallen and Hardy and
Yeah.
all those guys. They're all playing music together now.
Yeah.
And I'm super stoked about whatever happens.
Man, wow. Didn't Ozzy go on with, like, Post Malone or something?
Yeah, I
Crazy
know.
like
And
that?
all the
Yeah.
teenagers were like, oh, that's that guy that Post Malone made famous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I guess I'm old now.
They thought he was just some homeless guy they brought in off the street or some shit, dude. Fucking.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, this guy looks like he eats bats.
Yeah.
This
On
fucking
stage.
maniac.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, that kind of brings up the side of music that a lot of people don't really see, that it is kind of an art. You know, everybody involved. It doesn't really matter what kind of genre you're in. You're still making art, like, to your own form, really. Like, all this different metal, don't even start.
that's true.
It
I
is
don't
true.
know,
Like,
man,
whether you
it's-
like it or not, it is true. Like, everybody that makes music, whether they be like a DJ, a rap artist, a metal bassist, like, everybody's got it's some kind of art, right, that they're trying to put out into the world.
It's just who gets their hands on it. That's what
Yeah.
pulls me away from a lot of artists, because it's like you're listening to somebody, and then like the more you learn about them, the less it makes sense how they got there, and that's where I start being like, okay, this is fucking weird. This is some dude that like Sony pulled off the street and stuck in a studio, pretty much, which is the case for a lot of dudes, you know. And that's
Yeah, I can see that.
that's what hurts a lot of music. That's why there's not a lot of these, like, you don't hear about a lot of bands coming up that have been grinding out in underground scenes or anything like that. They just kind of come out of
Yeah.
the fucking woodwork.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get that. I think. Have you ever listened to an album that got put out and you could almost hear the contract?
Yeah.
You better
absolutely.
produce 12 fucking songs within the next year or you're fucked. You know? Like, you can hear it.
The
you
last
know?
Dude, don't talk about our management that way.
Oh, hold on.
they're cool. They let us have water breaks and stuff.
Yeah.
They're
Sometimes.
nice. They're
Yeah.
nice.
You know what I mean, though? When you hear a song
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, buddy,
Yeah.
you really phoned it in this time.
Or,
You know?
or you can
Really
hear
got fun.
they're writing shit in a pattern to get it to the radio. You know what I mean? There's that certain simplistic ass
Yeah.
dumb riff that they like. You know, they'll push that over a track and then just. It's just there's just
I hear
so
that.
much shit. It's just not impressive.
I'm a
dude.
huge fan of simple riffs, but all the simple riffs that I'm a fan of have something. It's just like the conversation we had a while back where, like, what makes a riff heavy? And you don't know what it is, and we could never really put a label on it.
Yeah.
But you can tell when it's definitely not fucking there.
Yeah.
And that's when I hear, just contract.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow,
Hey, you know,
how awesome is this?
super weird shout out to that show, Dave. I think it's on Hulu.
Okay.
You ever seen that?
I haven't watched it. I know Dave, the rapper.
Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
Little Dicky, right? But in there, he honestly brings to light a lot of the stuff that we're talking about right now, where you kind of get forced into a contract, and it makes you just throw out shit music just to build an album and throw it out.
Yeah,
right?
just to. I
It's
mean,
the
the
time
terms of the
crunch thing,
contract.
yeah, like you
it's-
have to have
yeah.
blank amount of songs out by this
Oh,
time.
God.
We have to turn them into albums, right? And it kind of kills his creative ability. And truthfully, like as funny as that show is, and it's just kind of a goof on that, really, like It's kind of the truth.
It's
It
gotta
kind
be
of
true,
destroys. It destroys bands, really.
It's
know?
got to be
I mean,
true because
Prince was talking about this shit, man.
Yeah.
He made purposely bad albums so he could get out of his contract faster. You'd be surprised.
Oh, really?
No way.
Yes, the amount of artists. That's why he changed his fucking name, because he was sick of his label trying to control him. They didn't have control over the symbol. You know what I mean? It's really fucked up ownership type stuff if you really look at it.
Go
you know
more
what I
into
mean?
depth on that.
Yeah,
'cause I
tell
didn't
us
actually
about
know
that.
much about that.
Dude,
Actually, pause. I got to piss.
all right.
All right, we're back.
All right, tell us about
Prince contract changed his name.
Prince changed his name because he got sick of he basically got sick of his damn label. I forgot what he was under, but it was one of the big mega labels that definitely make you do some gay shit when you sign a contract, one of them type of places. And he changed his name to that symbol so he could make music separately and his label couldn't touch it. You know what I'm
Really?
saying? And when he got out of that whole contract and shit, because he was just dumping albums to get out of it. You know what I mean? When he got out of that, he swapped his name back because they didn't, they didn't own it anymore,
Because they didn't fuck you.
Yeah, they should have. But
maybe Prince wasn't fucking the right person.
I mean, a lot of bands do that shit, man. I mean, and some bands I love Nickelback, but they feed into that shit. You know what I mean? They purposely sit down. They admit it. They're like, hey, we write shit to get it on the radio.
Honestly, that's kind of. I feel like that's
That's
a lot of the
admirable.
reason that people don't. Like there's some sort of like stigma around like Nickelback is probably something like that. They're just throwing shit out there to throw it out there.
Yeah.
For the label.
Well, I
we
mean,
want
you
hits,
heard,
dude.
fucking
Want to be big rock stars?
listen. I'm sorry if I ever meet you. I apologize, Metallica. But Whiskey in the Jarro has got to get off the radio, dog. It's just not that great, man. What happened to Kill 'Em All? What happened to the attitude that you could feel from
Have you
a
ever
lot? You know what I'm saying?
What happened to Steven Tyler?
I don't know. That guy. I don't know what happened to him, dude.
He's making country music now.
What?
Yeah.
Whatever he can do to keep the 18-year-old girls rolling in, he'll do it. He don't
Hold
give a
up.
fuck. He don't give a goddamn. As long as he gets some teenagers.
Is that what's happening?
Keep it
Swear.
going. Why else?
Dude.
Why would you not retire and be like Ozzy and just chill at your fucking house?
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, that is true. I feel like everybody bashes Ozzy about his drug use and like
He's chill.
honestly,
He's married to the
living
same
his
bitch
life.
like 40 years.
he kind of made it though. He just gets. Someone stole the beer, Sharon, and he fucking goes to the
Let's
kitchen,
more
and she was
beers.
like, "It's you. You're the beer thief. You drank all the fucking beer." I can see that being me in 25 years.
That should be a goal, dude. You should be able
He's in a big house.
out of it in your own house.
He's like,
bro.
should I have cameras in my house today to make a fucking smoking ass fucking TV show for the next year? I don't know. I still have some money. I'll think about it.
Gene Simmons, Family Jewels.
I mean,
God.
I don't know. But I do agree with you, though. The contract part. Well, the good part about, 2024 is that people can do stuff like this, and if they're actually talented, not like me,
Yeah. No.
then they could actually...
We're out. We're out.
We still got a chance, dude. You know what I mean, though? Like, if someone's actually talented and they start putting their music out and stuff, like, they can get picked up. Case in point, Oliver Anthony.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We
yeah.
witnessed that,
People are
dude.
biting at the bit for
That
him.
shit, yeah.
And he's,
That shit was sick as fuck, dude. As soon as I heard that song, I thought the guitar that he played, the resonator guitar, I was like, before I saw his video, I was like, that is the stupidest looking fucking piece of shit I've ever seen.
What happened after you seen that video?
I
We
went straight to Guitar Center.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? These are pretty
Wow,
cool.
I've been selling my soul.
Yeah.
You can't fucking beat it because you feel it, though.
Yeah, and as many negatives as social media and shit has, that's the one thing it has done really good is keep independent art in a place where it can still be alive. You know, where
And
we
thrive.
can still have that dream of being like, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna make the music that I want. I'm not gonna be at a P Diddy party every other month taking it up the butt. Any weird shit like that.
Yeah.
People are saying no Diddy
that.
now instead of no
Yeah,
homo.
Diddy, yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I thought that was the
Yeah.
funniest shit in the world.
Jeez.
Yeah, because you can still avoid all that now. I mean, most people don't. Most people are gonna take. They're gonna take the big money, and I wouldn't blame somebody for doing that. But
I understand it.
overall, after so many years of that, it drains. It's fucked up hip hop. It's fucked up metal. It's fucked up country. Like it is. The more artists that do that willingly, it's bad.
I listen to hip hop nowadays on the radio, and I'm just like, where are you, dude? Where on earth are you where you can just pull a gun and fuck a thought and do all this shit? Like, what are you talking about?
NBA
Welcome to
Youngboy
Detroit.
shit.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, what are you talking about? You can't be in a gang anymore.
No.
You can't just fucking shoot guns in the air and not get arrested. Like,
It's the hip hop's weird, dude, because it's a split between like these dudes who are actually from the streets, like Chief Keef and stuff like that, and then it's a split between
yeah, he's legit.
just these absolute fucking plants that came out of nowhere, and they were like, "Oh man, this dude's got a little bit of talent. Let's."
Island Boys.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
At the same time, though, even if you're not a plant and you're from the streets, it's one of those things where it's like, you are going to prison.
Yeah. And that's its own individual thing, yeah.
If that's all you rap about and stuff, like, where are you? Where are you?
Half of them.
What city are you where you can, you know?
There's a reason they don't make it past fucking 30, dude. I mean, you look at, like, I don't know if y'all know X, the SoundCloud rapper from a few years ago, or like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of dudes who had like legit talent and could have went somewhere, but it's just weird. It's like they don't want to stop doing that, you know what I mean? They don't want to stop going out and just being fucking nuts and doing all this crazy shit. And then
I just feel like once everybody knows your name, you can kind of just
chill
and just make what got you here in the first place, and that's good music.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's just.
But I can see a counter argument there where it's like, well, if you ain't doing it, how can you rap about it? I'm like, you know, I get that, but like, maybe rap about something else so you don't have to do 25 to life.
Yeah,
No
for
reason
real.
to put
Or like Kodak Black, he's getting arrested every fucking month for some crazy shit, dude.
It's crazy how genres kind of assign attitudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you're a Cannibal Corpse fan, you need to be angry all the time. Or if you're like a John Mayer fan, you need to have like 6 girlfriends that you cheat on that they don't know about. You know,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, or if you're a rapper fan, you gotta like fucking shoot your gun outside.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
gotta
like-
spin the block and shit, you know?
Everything I said,
Yeah, and if you're a country fan, you got to shoot your gun outside.
Be very drunk.
and be allowed to do it.
Yeah.
You know? You be allowed to do it. You gotta sleep in the hay, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like, that's not really, it's not realistic.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, why can't you just make music, good music, talking about your opinions? You know what I mean?
It's
Or telling a story. Like,
it's-
Immoral
it's-
Technique was one of my favorite rappers, and he
Oh,
always
yeah.
told a story. And some of them are harrowing, and maybe they are from his past, and maybe they aren't. But they display something, and they help people connect with an issue that may have happened to a lot of people. You know, and I think that's where the contracts cut it off. That's where the contract voids whatever you're saying. You know what I mean? It separates what you're actually trying to say and create from the audience that may agree with you.
Yeah. It goes to these. It's not like back in the day where they were like letting Metallica pick their producers and letting Eminem work with whoever he wanted to, or all these other artists who just pretty much got to do whatever they wanted for a long time. They got sick of that shit. So nowadays it's like
Sorry
you
about
sign,
the dogs.
They're staying
nowadays
in the studio.
you sign that deal, and now there's a producer in the studio. You don't know the motherfucker, and he's in charge of your record, and he tells you this, and this. I don't like that. I don't like this. You're gonna do it this way.
Well, we all saw Straight Outta Compton, and I'm sure there's hundreds of stories just like that,
Yeah.
where it's like, wow, this guy just came and just ruined everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he just came and he
exactly.
ruined everything. He's signing us up for all these tour dates. We're playing every night, 9 cities straight. You know, it's like
Making like no money.
making enough to pay what you owe the fucking label. It's
Yeah.
like, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, and just fucking barely. What's crazy is that Dr. Dre didn't do anything very differently from that. He went off. He went off and did his own thing and just kind of fucking kept the cycle going in a weird way. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's something about it, man. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
So after we had this whole moral quandary of music putting you in a state of mind and this and that and whatever, so you were in multiple other bands. So what kind of music did you write? What did you write about?
Fucking originally it was like just like punk shit, and the bands I was in like throughout middle school and stuff. That was just
Yeah.
like it's just like basic punk. Then when I got into high school, I tried to actually make like a full go metal band, but I just It's hard to make chemistry work with people, man. It really is, and especially
Yeah.
putting the faith in somebody to be like, you know, we're both gonna do this. You're gonna learn your shit on your own. I'm gonna learn my shit on my own. When we meet in a week, it's gonna be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's hard to fucking do. And my mistake was I kept believing that people who never showed interest in music seriously could do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my advice to people trying to start a band is like, you know, don't just necessarily go find your friends and be like, hey, dude, learn guitar. You know what I mean? Get out there and try to actually meet people who have a genuine love for music. You know what I mean? Not just some dude who likes to listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And be cool. You know, don't be a fucking asshole. Don't try to, like, as soon as y'all get together, immediately start assigning roles to everybody. Like, you're going to be rhythm guitar forever, you know. Because I've played with a bunch of people who are like that, who are like, I'm going to be the singer, I'm going to do this, you guys are going to do this, you know, and it's just like, bro, you can barely fucking play.
Very
you know?
authoritarian.
Yeah. Most people are like that, dude. They get in a band and they start thinking like, man, I want to be the guy, and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, nobody's the fucking guy if you can't play.
Listen,
You know?
That's true.
Everybody knows the story of the fake substitute teacher that came into a school and started assigning roles to the kids of what they were going to play. School or rock. It didn't work out until everybody assigned their own roles.
The one time it worked.
Yeah.
At the end of the very end.
Yeah.
After an hour and a half.
But yeah, I mean, just find cool, like-minded people and treat it like an art, man. You know, don't fucking think that you have some pressure to release stuff in a certain amount of time or by a certain age, because that's also what fucked me a lot. Is I was in this mindset. I was like, oh damn, I'm so young. I gotta start pumping shit out so we can get something going, and it just.
Yeah.
You waste all your time trying to make these shitty songs that really aren't going to go anywhere instead of just sitting down and really,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
forming a love with your instrument and shit like that. You know, being great on your own first.
I mean,
That's kind of what I said. If you like, I totally agree with everything you said. But when you're trying to make a band, you don't have to, like you said, you don't have to find a bunch of people and teach them how to play instruments. You know, like if you're in the game, you're gonna meet people. I mean,
Yeah.
especially with social media these days. If you put out, like, you're a bassist, you put out a sick bass line, someone's gonna hit you up. You know what I mean? Someone's gonna be like, hey man, come jam. And then you get to meet all these people and you get to.
That's finding
Go
people
over
that
there.
have the love of music like you to form something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my thing is like, instead of looking outward at other people that are quote unquote inhibiting you from making it, which I feel like that's where a lot of the pressure comes from in a band, because I've been in a couple bands and, you know, it was kind of the same thing that you were saying. If you just focus inward at your own practice, at your own craft, things will eventually start happening.
Yeah.
But you really gotta like doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you can't just look at the end goal. Like, I can't wait till I'm shit-faced in a fucking 5-star hotel room in fucking California somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't work. You have to focus on your own craft. And speaking of your own craft, song of the month. The month ends tomorrow.
we started kind of late.
And we started 2 weeks ago. We had a big gear malfunction that we were trying to work out. But me and Brandon are gonna try to play this.
You
We're
know,
gonna see
I'd
how
like
it
to
goes.
I'd like to throw something out. I know this is song of the month.
Yeah.
We had a short month.
We got a short month.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this one needs to trail over. This needs to be next month's song as well. I'm actually having fun working on this.
Song of the month for
Yeah,
next month.
Yeah.
I love learning.
All right,
Yes.
cool.
Not saying this is going to happen every time, but it was a short period that we did get to work on this, you know?
Yeah, no, it really has, especially with the, you know, meltdown of all this shit.
Yeah.
But
Pure shit in the bed.
we're gonna try to run it anyway, because that's what we do here.
Yeah.
Song of the month, OMERTA. We're gonna do. We've been working on pretty much the first. What is it? 4 bars, I guess.
Something like that.
Yeah, we
just
haven't
kind
gotten to
of
the chorus
repeating.
or anything yet. We posted the link to the tabs. And yeah, we're gonna try it, dude. As soon as we get into tune.
This is the fun part about guitar. You do spend a lot of time slightly tuning your stuff.
Turning knobs and just
turning knobs, playing with strings. Yeah.
You gotta fuck with it a little bit to get it going.
Just a little bit.
It's like an old school Chevy truck.
It's honestly, it's not that bad. But
Yeah.
it is fun. Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yep, ready.
Alright, I'll start it.
Okay.
And that's how far we've gotten so far.
Yeah, it was terrible, dude. I fell apart. I couldn't get the rhythm.
You got
of
all
it, dude.
sorts of backwards,
It's hard to
dude.
keep that dun dun dun.
Yeah,
dun,
it was-
dun,
it was
dun,
rough.
dun. Yeah.
I forgot to palm mute in the
Yeah.
beginning. I like
It's
completely.
all
got
good,
bad.
man. It's just practice, dude.
Yeah, it was fun. We were literally just ripping that song too.
Yeah, I mean, we had
I did
played
the
it before
same
the
thing,
podcast.
man. I did the same thing
Dude.
when it was my turn to play. I was like, I do not remember the rhythm.
That's what
at
I'm saying.
all.
That's
Bro,
how it
like,
goes, dude.
Immediately it goes, bro.
Dude, like I said on, episode 1, that microphone adds pressure.
It does some things.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It does some things to you, man.
Well, Nate, do you have a riff you'd like to teach us? You can say no. If you don't have anything particular, you can say no.
Nothing particular, just bits and pieces.
Okay.
That's-
Okay. Next
well,
time.
I'm sure we'll have you
Next
on
time.
again.
Yeah, we'll get him on again.
You'll be playing with us in the closing jam sesh.
Yeah.
Soon to be audio as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're looking for a sound guy. We're gonna try Nate out and see how well he works, and yeah.
Upgrades, boys.
Upgrades are coming soon.
Yeah, hey man, this project is kind of just building itself. It's kind of cool to see, honestly.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's pretty interesting.
I do like the consistent listeners too. It's pretty neat. So.
Speaking
thanks,
of
guys.
interesting things,
Oh, God.
what's up with Offer Up? What's
What
up?
is up?
What city are you doing?
So I'm doing near Seattle, Washington.
Ooh, the home of grunge.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah. Nate, tell them about it. Tell them about Seattle.
Yeah.
Tell them about all the bands that came out of Seattle.
Okay, so back,
Everyone. If you miss a single one, you're done.
I
for.
can't
fucking
do that.
fire.
There's too many. Okay, so back in the day, there was a label called Sub Pop Records in Seattle, and they were really cool people, and they let their artists do whatever the fuck they wanted. They
Okay.
signed Nirvana, Pearl Jam, the Pixies, and a bunch of other bands, and they are like essentially what started that whole sound that comes out of the early '90s
Neat.
in a weird way.
Very
But
cool
yeah.
idea.
Okay, so what city are you doing?
Gary, Indiana.
Gary,
Hell
Indiana.
yeah.
Do you got any fun music stuff around Gary, Indiana?
Dude, Gary, Indiana, not a fucking thing.
Got
Nothing,
it.
dude.
You crank 5-finger death punch and smoke meth. That's
God.
that's what you get down.
I'm
in
down
Gary.
with that.
Shout out to all the Gary people, by the way.
Speaking of bad decisions, Gary, Indiana, for $1,000, totally worth it. Schecter Guitar Research. The fucking dog's trying to get in, dude.
Dude,
It's a Schecter Guitar Research C1 FRS Silver Mountain 6-string electric guitar, but for the love of Christ, it's brand new in the box. Look at this pattern on this thing.
oh my lord!
It almost looks like,
Looks
like
like
Venom,
brushed
dude.
stainless
yeah,
mixed with just splattered paint. It looks sick though.
the Crown of Thorns, maybe.
Yeah.
I like it. It's $1,000. I'd buy it.
Yeah.
If you don't have $1,000,
I have
maybe don't live in Gary. I don't know.
I have an Epiphone Les Paul. It's in Edmonds, Washington, so near Seattle. $400, and honestly, it looks practically brand new.
Let me see it.
Okay, let's see.
Oh,
Listen.
classic Sunburst.
Classic Sunburst Les Paul. Les Paul's honestly,
Epiphone?
yeah,
How much?
$400.
That's a fucking steal.
That's a steal. Okay, Les Pauls are a good base for literally any kind of music you could possibly want. If you wanted to play country, if you wanted to play
The honeys.
rock, metal, literally anything you want to play. This is a good bass. $400, steal.
That's for $400. That's a nice ass guitar.
That's killer. Yeah, it looks brand new. You got anything else?
There's a lot of options in Gary, Indiana, surprisingly.
I wonder why.
There's so many I'm having a hard time kind of choosing. There's a lot of bases in Indiana, too. You might want to go to Indiana.
I have another one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, near Seattle, can't pronounce this city.
Kawachashe or something like that.
Puyallup.
Puyallup.
Puyallup or something.
Puyallup.
Anyway, it is a Daisy brand, which I hadn't seen this brand before.
It's for children.
Electric guitar with a gig bag. It looks like it would fit heavy. Absolutely perfect. It's the shape of a heart.
Get
Hell
the
yeah.
fuck out of
A
here.
little heart
sweet,
inlays.
dude.
$300.
It's like one of those Japanese,
Hey, it has
female
a-
Japanese electric guitar.
It has a
bands.
fucking
Yeah.
dual pickup.
What
and
are they called?
It's got
Candy
a
rock
humbucker,
or
dude.
something?
I know
It's
what
got a
you're-
humbucker.
Baby metal.
Baby metal, yeah.
Dude, it's got a humbucker. $300. Get that bitch.
Another deal that is actually really good, Gary, Indiana. Squire electric guitar, Strat.
Ooh!
It's all white though, for $100.
Ooh, all white.
All white.
I
dude.
dig that.
I dig it.
I dig that.
It is it's a workhorse of a fucking guitar.
I don't know if I'm sure we've said it on here, but both me and Heavy are both playing on Squire Strats. It's a super good guitar to just play around with, you know.
It's also a guitar you can build. There's tons of options for it. Jesus, with that vape. By the way, that noise that you heard 3 times already is a vape dropping out of someone's pocket.
Oh, my bad. We got tiny chairs in this.
Every
motherfucker.
single fucking
Hey.
time.
He does some tiny chairs.
The Tomato Studio, I don't want to hear it.
It's the Tomato Studio.
I got one.
What do you got?
I got a Dave and Buster's guitar.
Fucking be serious, man.
it's seriously a Dave and Buster's guitar.
Oh, it has this
Yeah,
stamp on
that's
it. and
wild.
everything?
If you want a guitar with the Dave and Buster's logo on it, look somewhere in shithole Oklahoma, and you'll be able to find it.
Okay.
Okay.
If you want that.
I don't know what this
How many
was.
tickets do you think that costed?
3.
You had to live up there for at least
No,
2
dude.
days, bro. You had to be.
I don't know what brand
I'm impressed
this
that they
is.
actually got it.
Yeah, it seems like one of those things that never leaves.
This guitar is like a piece of art. I don't actually know what brand this is. I'm just gonna hand you the phone, let you look at some pictures. But it's a dual humbucker guitar with a bunch of artwork on it, like a Mayhem album cover. It looks like for $200.
It says Mayhem on it.
Yeah, it does. It's a
Skull fragment.
I don't know.
Rockstar.
I don't know what that
It's
is.
sponsored by the Rockstar energy drink.
It looks pretty sick. It'd be a fun one to hang on the wall at least, you know.
Legator?
But for $200, it's a sick electric guitar. Literally just something to show off.
Rockstar Annual Mayhem Festival. It's made in China, so it's not going to play super great.
It's not gonna play super great, but it's probably not too far off. I like these Strats. I'm
I
sure you
mean-
could do some customizing, put some better coils in it. I think it'd be great.
Yeah,
but
not too bad.
for $200, man, you're still getting a guitar for $200.
Hey, you can't beat that.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean it's neat looking. Yeah. Anyway,
Well, alrighty.
got some news.
I got some news. Here's the news. I can play the news riff that I wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here it goes, dude. It's time for the news.
The riff that he wrote, he can play it.
I can fucking play it. News. Let's see. I have panic attacks when I take too many edibles. No, that's... Hold up. That's not news.
Breaking news.
Pause. Wait. Hold up.
You'll never be as good as them.
This is just another opinion. Nicolas Cage is the greatest.
He is.
I feel like that's not news. I feel like that's just common knowledge. Let me delete that.
This one isn't like new news, but I have a really neat thing that I was looking at, and I dove a little bit into it. Okay.
A wiener?
No.
Go ahead.
Never. There's a
No Diddy. Is
There was
it
like a
wiener?
little. there was a professional skateboarder, kind of old school, like Tony Hawk era, right?
Okay,
Bam
what's
Margera.
The goat? Yeah.
Yeah, we know who that is.
Yeah. Okay. Did you know that he went to North Korea? Invited by, like, one of the dictators up there.
Kim Jong-un.
Not Kim Jong. It was like way back.
Was another Kim?
It was like in 90s.
Kim
Okay.
Il's
Kim
son.
Possible?
Kim Jong Il or something like that.
It's Kim,
Anyway.
Kim Il's son, I believe.
Yeah, maybe.
He goes
Yeah.
with his skateboard to North
So
Korea.
he went to
Watch
North
this.
Korea. Okay. Never changes the way he dresses. He's covered in tattoos, frosted tips in the hair, all that. Like something that none of these people ever seen. Skateboarding all over the place up there.
Okay. Why, though?
The dictator, he wanted to see his Lamborghinis. He was like, I love supercars. Can you bring them out here? So he flew out his supercars and himself with one other pro skater dude to show off his sports cars to the dictator.
It
to the
sounds
man.
like...
Okay, skateboarding all over the place. He's saying he's getting crazy looks. He's skateboarding like all night long when everybody's locked up in their homes.
Yeah, dude. Getting
Wild.
beat by the police.
Wild stuff. Okay.
When you say
Complete
that, the only
immunity.
thing I can think
That
of is
pissed me
Admiral
off,
Akbar
dude.
just saying, it's a trap, you know. I want to see your cars. Come hang out in my communist country.
It's so crazy that
Get the
he
fuck
did that.
outta here, dude.
Okay? I don't understand if old boy called me up, there ain't no way I'm going out there. First off, I'd be like, yeah, send me your exact location. Tell the SEALs, yeah, we got him. Go
Dude,
get
I
him.
feel that. I feel that Murcielago with anthrax, dude. Finish the job, baby.
That's wild. Yeah, dude wanted to see his Lambos, so he brought him out and skateboarded all over North
You know,
Korea.
I had a buddy who had a Korean girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
And every time she got pissed, the same joke. I witnessed it 3 times in person.
Okay.
He said, "Are you sure you're being South Korean? Because you're acting kind of North right now."
Oh.
Ooh,
And I said, "You're gonna die."
that's bad, dude. That's real bad.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Okay.
Other news.
Yeah.
A bunch of dudes got in big trouble because they started destroying rock formations at Nevada National Park. They just started shoving these giant, like, wind-carved boulders off the fucking mountain. Yeah, maybe don't
Interesting.
do that.
Minute work right there.
NASA probe going to Jupiter, possibly the life-sustaining moon, Europa, in October.
What?
In a couple months, we're probably going to have pictures of Europa,
That's interesting.
Jupiter's moon. It's possibly life-sustaining.
Love space, man.
What's that one satellite they sent out into the air and they gave up on it, so they just sent it into space playing Johnny Be Good?
Oh, I heard about that. I don't remember what that was
No.
called. Yeah.
Imagine being an alien and all you see going by is
Dude, you couldn't play that out of a fucking stereo on your shoulder and walk through a hood in America. Why the fuck would you send it out?
This is a long time ago, brother. Long time ago.
It seems like a pretty far oversight, dude. But then
I don't know,
again,
man.
You know, Nagasaki happened and nobody stopped that. You know.
Yeah, I don't remember what the name of that satellite was, but it was that was a long time ago that happened.
It's badass.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I found a strong soldier behind enemy lines, deeply entrenched within enemy territory. This was months ago.
Okay.
So, I pull up to Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Okay. Right?
Okay.
I got my deal.
The Lord's chicken.
Yeah, dude, that's God's chicken deal. Fuck with it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I always get the same thing, man. Chicken Cool Wrap with the creamy salsa and large lemonade, right?
Okay.
I order it. I get to the window. This little black guy comes up the window. I mean, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this man was homosexual.
Okay.
Beyond a shadow of a
Yeah.
doubt,
Yeah.
right?
Like they seen it in the interview, gay.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And he said, he told me, he's like, here's your food, have a good day, or whatever. And I look at him, and I was like, behind enemy lines, huh? He about shit himself. But I thought it was great. And I hope it
That's
made his day,
funny, dude.
and I hope he still works there.
I hope so.
I hope he does.
Behind enemy lines.
Deeply entrenched,
dude.
beyond the wire.
Nate, do you like dad jokes?
Yeah, what you got?
This is not a dad joke, but it's a good joke.
Alright, what you got?
What do you call a fat girl with a rape whistle?
What?
Optimistic.
Oh,
You guys ready for closing?
Let's fucking close this episode out.
We got a lot of mic moving to do, so we're
Yeah, we're gonna pause and we'll be right back with
Yep,
you.
we're gonna sort.
All right, we're closing it out. Thanks for listening, guys. Episode, 9?
Probably
I think.
episode 45 or 46 by now.
Probably episode 9,
Probably
though.
episode 9.
Probably 9.
It's gonna be 8. Watch.
Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
Thank
It was
you,
great.
guys.
It was a
Thank
great
you.
interview.
Yeah.
Dude, having a bass player around is sick, dude.
It's so sick.
It,
Yeah.
it really carries everything.
Yeah. Guys, don't forget to go ahead and leave a comment. Tell us all the things that we definitely missed about everything we talked about. And we will completely ignore you. Send us emails, and we'll ignore that too. It'll
Yeah.
be super fun for you to know that you sent us stuff and we don't care.
Yeah. Fuck you.